Hey guys, Jared Miguez here for another real estate series episode with Courtney Fricke. And today we're going to hear from Brett Pellissier at Canvas Mortgage and MaryJo Hoover at LPT Realty. Both are really great people making a really big impact on our community. Tune in to hear what they have to say. Welcome to the show, Brett Pellissier, MaryJo Hoover, and we're my co-host Courtney Fricke. This is the real estate series, residential real estate series. We talk about residential real estate with our agent and lender partners, trying to help you guys grow your business and teach other people how to be better at their job. And so I'm excited to have both of you on today because we spend every Thursday morning together.
We do.
Or
Every
at least
Thursday.
Y'all are probably more consistent than me. I try to get there every Thursday.
You're there.
I'm
Just a little late, consistently late, but you're there.
But I'm there.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
MaryJo is a real estate agent at LPT Realty,
I am.
and you've been there for,
We've been with LPT Realty for a little over a year now.
yeah, and you've been an agent for how long?
4 years.
4 years. Brett Pellissier with Canvas Mortgage. You've
Canvas.
been in the game for what?
Coming up on my fourth full year.
Cool. Nice. So I like to first just kind of get started with telling people a little bit about you guys. So what got y'all into the real estate business to start? Brett?
So my dad's been in the mortgage business my whole life.
Yeah.
So it kind of grew up in my blood. So I went to, my dad had a big mortgage company up until 2008, like a lot of people. And then, that all happened and he stayed in the mortgage business and other capacities at that time. He always told me, go into mortgage. And I always fought it. Like, I want to blaze my own path, try something a little different. Graduate college and first job offer I get was in banking. So I go work at Iberia Bank at the time and really learned how to meet with clients and stuff. And then got a little burnt out after COVID and, doing 75 PPP loans and I wasn't getting paid on them.
Oh, you were doing business banking at the time.
Yeah, I was.
Relationship banking.
No, I was doing everything.
Nice.
There was days where I was doing telling work. There was
Yep.
days I was closing commercial lines of credit. There was days I was helping with people with bank fraud.
But you
I-
weren't selling mortgages, though.
No, I did a lot of HELOCs, so that's where I got
Gotcha.
my lending experience. I
Gotcha,
probably
okay.
did about 10 million in HELOCs over the first
Wow.
few
Wore a
years.
suit and
Well,
a
because
tie
Iberia,
every
that was
day.
their
Yeah,
signature that was one of their
exactly.
signature products.
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
a very low interest rate for introduction rates and stuff.
So fun fact, my mother is a lender on the banking side on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Love her. She doesn't talk about business after 8 to 5 type of thing. So it's like, so I definitely saw the difference of someone in a bank versus, a different kind of type of lender situation. And yet you put in, you help where you need to. If it's a teller line, if it's whatever, open a credit card for someone, if it's whatever. But that's fun fact though, Iberia. I mean that I knew them for the only bank, like traditional bank product I ever did was a HELOC with Iberia.
Yeah,
There you go.
and they were great. There was such great leadership there, and I really learned how to deal with clients at that point.
Yeah.
My dad had been telling me get into mortgages in 2017, 2018, 2019. Hindsight, should have listened to him because I would have made a lot of money in 2020, 2021 and everything. But I just wasn't ready at that point.
Yeah.
I needed to grow on my own
I
and
get that.
kind of figure things out and blaze my own path and,
Yeah.
not be, you're just following your dad's footsteps. Not that there's anything wrong with that because you have to earn your way in this business,
Sure,
which
of course.
I've
Sure.
learned that, the hard way over the past 4 years, But yeah, I needed to go through that in order to get to where I am.
Yeah.
But the leadership program at Iberia Bank, I have buddies from college that went through that, and that was a phenomenal program, right?
Yeah, I didn't go through that program. Hindsight, I should have gone to that because I was trying to get into it. The classes were full when I first got in. And then I had a very good relationship with my manager at the time.
Who's
And,
that?
Steven Perenio.
Okay.
He's no longer in banking. But I got asked to join that program. And I'm like, I'm finally, things are starting to click here. I really like my manager. I think I have a good path in front
Yeah.
of me. 2 months later, he leaves, leaves the
man.
business. So I'm like, oh, that's bad timing. But also that helped me grow and
Yeah.
kind of fill some voids there and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it all works out
Yeah.
one way or another.
Did you leave before the Iberia
merger?
Bank got acquired?
Yeah.
So it
Not
actually,
the merger, the acquire.
so
Acquisition.
the conversion didn't happen.
Yeah.
The merger happened,
Gotcha.
but they didn't merge systems or anything like that. I left in October of 2020 and then went to go take a job in a different field.
Gotcha.
For a short period of time.
And I think it's important for people to understand that there's more to all of us than just the real estate business that we
Yeah.
do. And I know that you support a local charity for skin cancer awareness, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm a committee member on Cancer Association of Louisiana Tour Lee bike ride. That's a very special. Yeah, I'm involved in a lot of things, but like that's the one thing I don't care if I was in any sort of sales capacity. I would take off work to go do that. So it's a bike ride and raises money for cancer patients across Louisiana, and 89 cents of every dollar goes back to patients, and that's a very high mark in charitable giving. So we operate on very thin margins. But the reason why I got into this, committee is back in April 2020, my uncle got diagnosed with lung cancer, and my aunt and her friends, started. They were on the board member of Cancer Association of Louisiana, and the Tour Lee was previously happening many years ago, but they started revamping it. So my aunt was part of it, and she asked my mom to do this bike ride with her. My mom's like, I really don't want to ride 20 miles. Well, the night before the race, my aunt and her friends, who I like to call happy hour heroes, they know every happy hour in the city of New Orleans, right?
I mean, there's some good happy hours.
No, there's some great ones, but they're happy hour heroes. So at 8:00 on Facebook, my mom sees the night before the race, she sees they're out at a bar. And my mom's like, well, if they are at a bar, we have to be there at 7. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. to go there and ride if they aren't going to be there. So I'm making her call me when she's on the bridge. Sure enough, my aunt calls her, hey, 6:15, hey, we're on the bridge. We'll be there in about 20, 30 minutes. So rolls out of bed, reluctantly goes. So they go do the race and everything, and afterwards they provide free skin cancer screenings. So my mom goes, and Dr. Rachel McDaniel's there, local here. Excuse me, a little dusty in here. She goes, hey, you need to call us first thing Monday. And my mom's like, okay. Found a spot on her arm, and my mom didn't call them Monday morning. They called her at like 11 o'clock. Hey, why didn't you call and set up an appointment? And my mom goes, I've been in meetings all day. They're like, we have an opening at 3 o'clock today. Can you make it? She's like, no, I have a mandatory meeting. Next day, she was like, all right, well, what's your schedule like at 9:30? Meeting. She's like, cancel that meeting. You're coming in. Comes in, gets a biopsy, pre-melanoma.
Wow.
So that's, divine intervention,
Exactly.
but like God was looking out for her and us at the time, because if she didn't go to that race, like that would have never found. And melanoma spreads fast if not caught early. So
Thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that. And that's why, I will, no matter what, I will put forth everything I can into that race. And it's great raising money for cancer patients.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
I want to get more people out there to get those pre-screenings to, help save someone's life, like save my mom. So
That's
incredible.
awesome. Yeah.
So, so not only that, you're also involved in WCR. You're on the board there. So, you commit a lot of time to the real estate industry. I think people need to know that, because it's important. There are people that get in this business to make money, and there's other people who get in this business and in business in general to make an impact. And I think that you do a great job giving your time. Like, there's not a lot of people that I think, how do they get things done? Because I like to be as many places as I can too. But I look at you sometimes, I'm like, that dude hustles, because you're everywhere that I show up, you're there, which means that that I feel like I'm doing the right thing when I see Brett somewhere, because I know you're networking with a lot of people. So I think you're doing a great job with that.
yeah, and that's the goal. And in this business, it's important to be top of mind. You have to be seen everywhere, and it's not just that. It's about building relationships. Sure, I understand I'm not going to do business with every single realtor in this area, and I know that they have their relationships with other lenders, but I want them to at least know who I am, know a little bit about how I conduct my business, so they see my offer letter, pre-qualification, pre-approval letter, submitted on their listing. They know, all right, we're going to accept that over somebody else's, or like, they're good. He wouldn't, mess around with it. So I make sure to let them know that.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's great. MaryJo,
Hey,
been in business for how long?
I was just trying to think, don't time fly when you're having fun. I think a little over 4.5 years.
Yeah, so we all kind of got in the business at the same time. You got there, what, 9 years ago, 10 years ago? 2014. Yeah, so you've been about a little over 10 years. I'm about 8 years in, and y'all are 4 or 5 years. So, but we met each other at a BNI group,
We did.
And so you're from Hammond originally. So, and I know what you were doing before. I know how you got in the business. Tell a story about how you got in the real estate business.
So, funny story. I joined BNI. I was working for a personal injury attorney, and I was their office manager, and I was also handling their marketing. So, I had visited BNI once before, and I told this attorney, look, you guys need to get in this BNI group. So, I joined Hammond Tradewinds BNI chapter, and the real estate agent of the group, which is Stacy Levin, came up to me and was like, you should be a real estate agent because I can literally talk to anyone and I'm not afraid to stand up and talk in a room full of people. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm like, I'm really happy with where I'm at in life. I bought my first house when I was 22.
Yeah.
That's
I had a
awesome.
real estate agent and I knew nothing about it. She handled everything and I just didn't know anything about the real estate market. And she kept pushing me. And she like recruited other people to give me like taps and say, come on. So she was like, you could do it part-time. And I went and I studied. I just had a baby. So I'm studying with a kid on my shoulder, climbing on my head in between baseball practice and all of this stuff. And I took the test. And I say it's a total God thing because I passed on the first try.
Nice.
And I'm taking this test and I'm sitting, y'all, and I'm like, if I fail this test, I will never take this test again. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And when I passed, I ran out of the room because there's like a little station where you take the test. And now I don't think the results pop up right away.
Yeah,
you have to wait. But when I took it, they did. And you take a national and a state test, and it said national, passed, state, passed. But surely, I was like, that doesn't mean what I think it means.
Yeah.
So I run up to the guy, and he looks at me like I've grown another head. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I run out, I'm calling everybody. I'm super excited. But yeah, so I passed the test. I stayed at the law firm, and I loved the law firm. And I miss the guys. I miss the attorneys. It's so much fun working with attorneys. But in the first 6 months of being a real estate agent, I surpassed my income at the law firm in the first 6 months for the entire year.
Yeah, that's great.
So I was like, if I was given, more time to real estate, how much more money could I make?
Sure.
So
what's your favorite part of doing the game? I mean, I know you always talk about how much you love working at the law firm. Obviously, the money's great, but what's your favorite part about being a realtor?
Working at the law firm and working as a real estate agent, my favorite thing is the same. Mm-hmm. It's the people. Mm-hmm. I love people, and just being able to go out and meet new people and walk with new people through their journeys in life. That is my absolute favorite part. Mm-hmm. So that's what I enjoy the most. I will never have a job where I, sit in a cubicle and don't get to talk to people because
It's not fun.
I need people in my life. That's
it's good to be self-aware.
how I feed my soul.